This is the Mercedes-Benz C63 SE Performance, and it is such an amazing vehicle. And I definitely believe it's one of the best all-rounders you can get because it's the perfect daily, but it's also the perfect track vehicle. And yeah, there's just so much to love about it. I just spent so much time in it, 1,300 kilometers, and yeah, I'm sold. But here's everything that you should know. This beast got me home safely after Samola, after doing so many track runs and burning some rubber, and it drove perfectly fine. It drove like a normal, everyday vehicle. Now, the gents at Mercedes started like at 3 a.m. in the morning, drove all the way to Samola, did a full 3 days worth of track driving. This particular one was for the customer experience, and so many people went around that track in this beast. It then completed all those days without a single complaint, with still some fuel left in it and some charge in the battery, because yes, this is a plug-in hybrid, but that 500 kilowatt motor performed effortlessly throughout the whole weekend, and the very next morning, it took us all home. On the highway, it had zero issues. It was such a comfortable cruiser. We got to physically experience the performance in the corners on our way out through George, through those beautiful passes. And then it was also so comfortable and sophisticated on the long straights. But now, I guess you're wondering what powers this glorious beast and what makes it so fuel efficient and so great at its performance element. Well, it's a 4-cylinder, 2-liter turbo motor with hybrid assist. Unfortunately, this C63 did not benefit from the V8 motor. However, this is pure sorcery and trickery, because this engine produces, like I mentioned, 500 kilowatts of power, and with the hybrid assist, over 1,020 newton meters of torque. That's good for pushing this from 0 to 100 in like 3.3 to 3.4 seconds. That is absolutely insane. And then some of the best figures I got was just over 10 liters to the 100. And although the purists will complain that because it doesn't have a V8, it doesn't sound good, I beg to differ. This thing has the best tuned exhaust on any production car for the size of the engine, because the pops, the burbles, the bangs, the actual shifting of the gears, like, it just sounds so well tuned. And that's something Mercedes is well known for, not just for their prop engineering, but their sound of their performance cars. Let's just give it a quick listen. You will note that this isn't a particular gray color that you don't really get on the C-Class, but this one is a unique edition, a special edition, if you will. It has like a black gradient that comes up from the bottom, some AMG writing, plenty of gloss black trims with some red accent bits, these black alloy wheels with the red brakes, the red trim around here, and this front splitter with some extra red detailing. What this means is that this particular one is the F1 edition. So it has plenty of red extra accent bits, like there's even some red in this carbon fiber, and I just think it looks so good overall. This cabin is so luscious. Check these sporty seats. Ooh, I love all the red stitching and red accent bits, and they work so well with these red seat belts. You also get these red light up scuff plates, this fabulous boot spoiler with some dark chrome badges. It looks phenomenal. As for how this thing drives and how it is dynamically, it is also insane. Like, the amount of grip from this car, the amount of launch pressure you get into your seat is phenomenal. This thing is literally a born race car in a way, but it's also a daily commuter. And I think that is what Mercedes does well. They make cars that are so well balanced that you can own them. If it's your only vehicle, it can be your daily vehicle. But then they give you that extra drama, that element of extreme performance, great handling, and then just so much tech to keep you and your family safe. Now, yes, in some cases, the interior does feel like a standard C-Class, but I would urge you, if you are interested in buying one of these, go and experience it, because it's a C-Class leveled up. Because yes, there are the gorgeous different trims, the leather-stitched dash, ooh, love that. Like I mentioned, these gorgeous seats, but because this is a top AMG model, it has all of the bells and whistles, and that just makes this car feel a lot more luxurious, premium, plush, and performance-focused. You, yes, get a sportier steering wheel with some Alcantara bits. These two displays, this one is for your drive mode selector, and if you shift this into Sport Plus, that engine kicks into life. But let's keep it at comfort. Then over here you can adjust the noise of the exhaust, And because this thing has a hybrid system on board, you can get an EV range out of it. So that is quite awesome. And you can plug it in at work or at home. Like, this thing is insane. It would be very hard for you to find anything that's missing from this vehicle. And yes, I will show you a little clip of us going up a hill and how violently this thing can perform in a good way. And then just show you bits of us just like cruising back home, civilized, comfortable. These sports seats, I did 1,300 kilometers in them with zero back pain, zero fatigue, and I swear I could have done an extra 500 if need be. This vehicle is a perfect blend of everything you want as a car enthusiast and purist, because we want engine noise, we want performance, but we also want a practical vehicle. We want practicality because most people have families. And this thing is a perfect blend. But for that reason, I would also argue that most of the AMG models are also perfect all-rounders. They kind of remind me of the Swiss Army knife, because if you think about someone that gets lost, let's say you're lost on an island, do you know how much you can do with a Swiss Army knife? It is something so unique and powerful, and yet it's something that most of us have in our homes. But it's important when it's really needed, So in my opinion, this car can do it all. Yes, it's a lot bigger than a Swiss Army knife, but it really is a perfect blend and it has everything you need. So yes, I would argue that this thing is in a league of its own, and there's a reason why it is such a well-loved South African favorite.